Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. You're going to have a great time in the next few minutes hearing from really good strategies from some CEOs and entrepreneurs in Arkansas on the Shrimp Tank, where we teach you how to go from a shrimp to a shark in the business world. Hey everyone, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank podcast. I'm your host, Rich Jensen, along with my co-host, David Sims, and our special guest today, Jim Alley of Guillermo's Coffee, and also a few Meineke franchises. So you've been on both sides of the business world.
Yes.
We just completed a great show. You're going to want to go to arkansas.shrimptankpodcast.com to listen to the entire podcast, because each week on the Shrimp Tank, we try and pick the brains of really successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners so that we can bring you all those tidbits of information that we can learn from them.
Yeah.
So we just completed a great show.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
David, why don't you
great show.
kick
You're
us
gonna
off
have to. You're gonna have to listen to the podcast for everything. Jim's got a great story. Went from corporate America at age 55 and jumped right into and got into three businesses. Not one, but not two, but three businesses all at once. And but one of the things that I asked you, Jim, was about what skill did you have to develop that you didn't have in corporate America? And your answer to that was very helpful. Share that with our viewers.
Well, there's a lot of skills that were actually learned through that, no question about it, but there's really a couple that stand out in mind. And that is, number one, when you make the shift from corporate America to entrepreneurship, no longer are you just receiving that corporate check, David.
Yeah.
You now are the one that are making the decisions that are responsible for the livelihood of numerous other people.
You're having to cut the checks.
That's it. You're cutting the checks, not just receiving the checks out there.
Yeah.
Therefore, every decision that you're making out there is not just impacting you, but it's impacting your employees. And that is something that means a lot to me as an owner, to be able to make sure that we got happy employees, that we got paid employees, that we have retained employees.
Right.
They're all going to deliver a great customer experience.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because being an owner of a business that you control everything on, and then being an owner of a franchise, we talked a little bit about the difference between the two. And interestingly enough, your answer was kind of like the same answer for both. They're the good and the bad. Share with our viewers.
Yeah, no question about it. There's pros and cons to both, okay? So as a business owner, what's awesome is to be able to, you can make your own decisions. You can make them on a fly. You can go out there and run this advertising campaign or this promotion, or you can try to make a change to your menu or do whatever you want to right there on the spot, okay? Now, that's a huge pro. The con to that is really offset by the fact you don't know what's going on, okay? You don't know what the results are going to be.
Right.
You don't know what the ROI. But you go over to the franchise side of the house, okay? And you have a proven marketing team out there. Oftentimes you're paying for marketing services that have been tried and true. They've been through kind of the drive test, so to speak. And so you're guaranteed a little bit more, you're guaranteed the results a little bit more out there, okay?
Yeah.
But the con to that is, it's not necessarily your idea, right?
And if it's a marketing plan you don't like, you're stuck.
Right.
Kind of stuck with
Well,
it.
one good thing is if Meineke's marketing plan doesn't work, you can blame them, right?
That's exactly right.
Guillermo,
That's
you got to
exactly
blame
right.
yourself.
You got to blame yourself. You only got to look in the mirror at that
That's
one.
right.
I just blame David.
That's right. I'm the marketing guy. We got that problem over here. I just, we got all kind of ideas. So Rich asked you a jumbo shrimp question.
Yes.
And you gave a really good, juicy answer to that one. And it's regarding your transition to entrepreneurship. And your answer to that question was really good. But share that with our viewers here and what you learned from that.
Well, it was a huge transition. It really was, because there's so many unknowns out there. There's so many unknowns about, how am I going to bring home the check? How am I going to be able to execute? How am I going to get customers in the door? There's so many unknowns, and you're making decisions. And oftentimes, especially coming from an industry that you've been in 25 years, you don't know what skills are transferable and are not, okay? What I learned is that they have a number of the skills that you have and develop over a course of a lifetime are very transferable, okay? But I didn't really know that till I got into it. So I was faced with the unknown, and I didn't know how I was going to navigate through the unknown out there.
Yeah.
And I think the best way that I can describe moving from concept to opening the doors is that I really had to put faith before fear because I was scared. There is no question about it. I was prepared. I didn't know it. But as long as I kept faith in the forefront, okay, I found that the path, the doors were opened along the path.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Well, I encourage you to go listen to the entire podcast, and there you can hear me combine YouTube and iTunes into YouTunes.
Hey, that's a great idea. We got to start something.
Hey, we got a
New concept.
The marketing guy.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, it's just a bunch of people singing karaoke. YouTube. Jim, we want to thank you so much for coming on the
Yes,
show.
thank
For
you.
those who
Appreciate
want to
you.
find out more about Guillermo's, more about you, more about Meineke, the franchises you own, share with our viewers how they can get in touch with you the best way.
Sure. We're very Facebook friendly. You can go to Guillermo's Coffeehouse and find us on Facebook there. Or from a Meineke perspective, we have a couple Facebooks as well, one for each location. Meineke North Little Rock and Meineke Conway. Come check us out. If you feel free to or have the urge to want to reach out to me personally, feel free to IM. Be glad to help any way I can.
Great. Hey, remember, go to arkansas.shrimptankpodcast.com. Got a tongue twister there.
It is a tongue
arkansas.shrimptankpodcast.com. Hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes. And until next week, stay safe. And remember, in the business world, to become a shark, we all start out as shrimp.